Hello, I'm Zoe. I'm going to be the podcast host and this is going to be the Oh Sew Lilly podcast. I hope you be happy to join me. It's going to be a knitting, sort of crafting podcast. I watch a lot of podcasts and I just want to get involved in the community, so I thought I'd give it a go. You may hear children and animals in the background because I'm trying to keep them quiet, but they never do stay quiet. Anyway, so I'm Zoe and I live in Cornwall, England, and I live right by the sea. I can see the sea from where I am sitting here. Yeah, so I'm going to talk a little bit about my knitting and other crafts today. So I'm going to go straight on to my knitting and I'll tell you a bit about myself as I go. Okay, so my first whip or work in progress is my Madewell cardigan. So a lot of podcasters knitting these and I just fell in love. I love a long cardigan. So this is my Madewell cardigan. The Madewell cardigan is by Locatelli. I might be saying that wrong. But this is my one so far, and I'm going to show you the right side. Okay. So I'm getting quite far down it now. Stretch it out. I want it to be quite a long cardigan. It looks quite big. I think it will be quite big when I'm done with it. This is the yarn, and this is the Mrs. Tiggywinkle colourway by Elm Tree Yarns. And it's got the silver stellina in it, and I'm really enjoying this pattern now. It's very sort of meditative. I can sit in an evening and just do it. It's kind of pooling. You can see it's darker in the middle and there's two blues either side. Now I am alternating skeins, but this is my first two what I've got left, and I've got one more to do after that. If you can hear that noise is my cat sitting at the window making strange noises at birds. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it now because I can do some decent knitting and sit in the evening and get a good sort of inch and a half going on it. It's quite a few stitches all the way across. Pix, come here, come here. See my cat. Oh, do you want to be held today? Come on, show them your beautiful eyes. Yeah. She's a little bit mad. Yeah, so that's my first whip. I'm very happy with how that one's going. It took a little bit of a break while I was different places at Christmas and all Christmas knitting and everything, and that one's in my own bag that I make. You see that? It's just got some little doggies on it. There we are. This is Bonnie. Hey, good girl. Good girl. Go to bed. Good girl. Go lay down. Good bed. Good girl. Right, and then my next one, I should get them both down. Right, I'm casting on some socks for my daughter. When I say casting on, I've casted on and it's like that. I'm just using some drops Fabel for her socks. Drops Fabel prints colourway. it's colour 904. So hopefully next time you see them I will have a bit more progress, and I just keep them in my own little Oh Sew Lilly. This one's one with a bit of a defect, so I kept it for myself. Needle cozy that I make in my shop as well. So that one hasn't got very far at all. These ones, on the other hand, are my socks, which I finished one of them. This is in Drops Fabel as well. I can't remember the colourway. I think it's like Blue Lagoon or something like that. So I finished this one, and this is it's a very scratchy, rustic wool, I feel, to knit socks with. And I've started the next one. I've done the heel flap, and now I need to do the heel turn and gusset. But I don't actually enjoy doing heel flaps. I've recently discovered the Fishlips kiss heel, and I much prefer doing that. There's a lot less stages and things like that to go with that one. So that's all in my little sock bag that I I sewed myself. And my last whip, because I've recently finished a lot of my whips, so it's quite nice, is something I just started before Christmas. And for some reason everything is attached to it. This is my Cozy Memories blanket. Well, it's not really memories because I've sort of bought these as minis. These ones were the first ones. I started off doing a provisional cast on to do an I-cord bind off, but it looks so messy having the extra threads in there. So I've decided to stop doing that, and what I've done is I've slipped the first stitch so it gives me a nice edge to be able to pick up later. These are, I think, blowing out because I'm right by the window. The only one that is a memory one is this one, really, because I knit my daughter some socks out of this colour, and that is a Drops Fable again. These ones were minis that I bought, I can't remember where from. And these two were from my Christmas Advent calendar, which I will talk about a bit later. And that is all my whips that I'm currently got going, which is quite... I won this bag in a cow that was hosted by the Crazy Sock Lady. That's Kay, and with her she knit a little tiny sock on it. It came with a few other things as well, but this one I think I'm probably gonna have to put it away at some point because obviously it's very festive, but at the moment it keeps my blanket in. So that's all my whips so far. I'm going to get on to my finished objects. A lot of these were gifts that I knit at Christmas, and now I've been gifted a lot of things I have actually given away. So I've only got the things that I knit for my family, my children. So the first one I'm going to go for is this one that I knit for my partner, and it's a hat, obviously, and it's got a sort of fox pattern. It goes all the way around. I saw this pattern on Ravelry and I showed it to him because I knit everyone in the house hats and he didn't have one, and I showed it to him and he said that he'd like it, which I was quite surprised because he's not the kind of person to wear something like this. But yeah, there wasn't the pattern online. It was released in a magazine ages ago and I couldn't get it, so basically I've made it up as best I could. I think it looks alright. And these were knit with Drops Nepal. It's a little bit, it's soft, but when you wear it, it gets a bit scratchy inside. So I think what I'm going to have to do is put some fleece inside. Show you the inside on the colour floats and everything. So it's quite, I'll try it on for you so you can see it. Obviously it's for his head really, but and there we are. And quite luckily this doesn't stretch out very much, which is good. Sometimes when you do stranded knitting, ferrule, whatever it's called, when it gets stretched over your head, you get those sort of parts. I don't know if you can see, but you don't really get that with this one, which is quite nice. So that's my first one. Next one is the Anders sweater, and I saw this one on the Hey Sister podcast. They were knitting them for their children. So and I just fell in love with the pattern. I knit these with what was recommended in the pattern, which was Malabrigo. Sorry, that was my cat. Malabrigo Arroyos. She's having a mad 5 minutes. No joy. Just have to ignore her. Okay, and this one was for my daughter, who is 3, obviously. I know that. She's 3, and the pattern doesn't actually go up to 3-year-olds, so I've actually had to do a lot of number work and work out how to adjust the pattern to make it bigger. But this one's the first one. This one was actually the last one that I knit because of doing all the calculations. And this is in the Regatta blue colourway, and it's just a natural for the bottom. And she has worn it, that's why it's all a bit out of shape and everything. But this yarn is so soft, and this one's still a bit damp because I've just re-washed it. And this one is my son's. He was 6 months at Christmas, so I done the 6 months to a year one for him. And this is in the same Malabrigo, but this one's in the Jupiter colourway with the natural. You can see it's a bit floppy because it's still a bit damp, but I'm blocking it out. And this pattern is by Sorren Kerr, or Kerr. I do like this little bit of pooling of this green here, and they look so cute at Christmas with matching jumpers, which was lovely. I actually knit another 2. I knit another smaller one in this Jupiter colourway, and I knit a grey one for my niece in the Plomo colourway. I will try and insert a picture in so that you guys can see them, because I took pictures of them before I gifted them away. And I really love that pattern. I think it's a great pattern. Very easy to do. It looks difficult, but it's really not. Right, next one is this hat for my daughter. This is a fun pink, bit of orange in there as well. This is the Northwards hat by Tincanknits, and this is a one-of-a-kind colourway from Sarah's Texture Craft. I love the pom-pom. It's really full and solid, you know what I mean? It's not like, I need to attach it better because it is very floppy. After a few times wearing it, it has come loose, so I need to reattach that really. And this one's a little bit big for my daughter at the moment, but that's okay. We're coming into spring here in Cornwall now, really. It's not it's quite mild. We don't really get frosts very much, and it gets windy, very windy where we live, but not too cold. Not too cold. So even though this was a bit big for her this year, it should still fit her next year, which is quite good. What else? This is an Aran weight, and it was a one of a kind, so it didn't have a colour name or anything. But I bought that in the sale in her. It's really pretty. I've still got another ball and a bit left of this one, and I'd really like to make something else with it because it's very bright, very nice and bright. Right, and next I'm gonna do my Christmas socks. Now these are wet as well because I don't know, I decided to clean everything before I decided to podcast, so yeah, they've been worn. I don't have sock blockers, but these are, the yarn is by Moffy and the Squid, and it was the candy cane colourway, and I used part of my Christmas advent calendar for the heel and the toe. And these were for my over Christmas knitting when I was at different families' houses and things like that. And I didn't finish them for Christmas, but they're finished now. They're all finished. I have a pair. This is only my second pair of socks that I have knit, and these are a Fishlips kiss heel and just a normal toe decrease. That looks a bit like. And I'm really sorry if I'm not looking at the camera. I have to keep checking if I'm in focus. Everything is backwards because I'm filming on a forward-facing camera on a computer. So yeah, but I really like them. They were fun to have at Christmas. This is my first time knitting self-striping yarn, and I found it went very fast because I was just trying to get to the next colour, just like everyone else says. They're very, very fun knit they are, and they're super soft but nice and dense. And I knit those on 2.25 zings is what now I knit all my socks on. I'm sorry that I haven't said the other needle sizes. I generally go with what the pattern says. I'm not very good at swatching unless it's for something big. I generally just use what they say. Right, and my last one, which is also damp, is for my son. This is a flax sweater crossed with an Anders sweater for the back with the 3 buttons, because I cast on his size for the normal flax sweater, and I thought there's no way without a big fuss am I going to be getting this over his head. He has got quite a large head, but still I should be able to, I could adjust this, I could do this. So basically I just copied the top part of the Anders sweater with the 3 buttonhole, which I put little Peter Rabbit buttons. I only had 2, so I had to put in a third, a different one. But I used the flax pattern for the arm detail, which I really wanted. And it has, I used 2 balls. I still have 1 left. I hand wind all my balls because I don't have a Swift or a ball winder yet. But it kind of striped towards the bottom, which I quite like. Quite like that striping. And I'll try and insert pictures of the kids wearing all these clothes. So this was the flax and the Anders sweater, and this is the Peter Rabbit colourway by Elm Tree Yarns, which I just love. So beautiful. I love Beatrix Potter, so I just, whenever I can, try and add to my collection, because Elmtree Yarn, she does a lot of different ones. I really want to get the mini selection pack so that I can put them into my cozy memory blanket. Anything else? Oh yes, one last thing. This was for my daughter. This is one of the Littlecottonrabbits. My one looks a bit, she's got a very big head and a very small body. Tights, little booties. Yeah, she, my daughter loves her anyway, but I feel she has a big head in proportion to the rest of her body. And I knit her the little ballerina cardigan. Sorry if the camera's blowing everything out. And she's just got a little tutu on. She's got a little tail. Yeah. And this was very hard to knit. This is my first soft toy that I ever knit, and it was incredibly hard because you have to knit it at such a tight gauge that it was hurting my fingers. I was using double point zings to knit this, and oh, it was very hard on my fingers, especially sort of the head and the part of the body that is grey. Was very, it has to be dense so that you can't see the stuffing through it, but boy oh boy, it was hard work. So that's her. And this is a mix match of drops wool. So this is a drops Aran and this is a drops alpaca, and this was actually some acrylic that just had some glitter in it, some white acrylic yarn that I had. Looking up her skirt. Yeah, and I didn't give her a mouth because I wasn't happy with how I was positioning the mouth at all. So she just has eyes and a nose and very big ears. But my daughter likes her, and she goes in her little ballet bag that she got for Christmas for when she starts ballet. And that is all my finished objects that I'm going to talk about today. Right, now I'm going to get on to a few lovely things and sort of dream knitting what I'm planning to knit with them. So for Christmas I got this book, Hand-Dyeing Yarn, and I've been reading through it a bit and I've been thinking about dyeing my own yarn for ages, and I've been reading through it and I was a little bit overexcited, especially after seeing Amy of the Little Tailoress podcast and Ali, I think it is, Ali of Little Drops of Wonderfulness podcast, I want to say. I think it's Ali. Sorry if I got that wrong. They've been doing a bit of dyeing. I follow them on Instagram. And I thought I'd just give it a little go. I had another whole full skein of the Malabrigo sports weight. So I thought, I'll skein it up into little 20-gram skeins and just give it a go with some food colouring and see if I like doing it. And this was the result. So my first one is a very, it's almost, it's a bit different. It's a pink. Sorry I haven't skeined them up because they were hanging to dry. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, so that was my first attempt. That one was a sort of immersion where you just put the dye into the pot and then you add the yarn. So it's sort of a tonal, I suppose. That was my first one. And then my second one, I tried painting on different colours on some cling film. So I've got a green, goes into a blue, into a nice pastel pink, and this was meant to be a purple, but it's more of a dusky pink than the other side. Look like a tiny little mini skein, a fat one. I just tied it with some acrylic yarn that I had. Tied them. It's quite pretty, looks quite pretty like that. And then I done 2 green ones. These ones are all, the rest of them were all hand painted on cling film. I'm quite excited to have some different colours because I've got some Christmas money. So I'm going to buy some acid dyes. That's my first green one. I quite like green. So then I went on and done this green one, which is more of a green blue. Let's skein this one up. There you go, like a greeny blue. Sorry about the poor scaling up. That one. And my last attempt is a bit of a rainbowy, splodgy. I tried speckling it basically. I got a cocktail stick and I dipped in the food colouring and then spreaded it all around while this was all on cling film, and then when I put it into the pot all the colours just ran. So the yarn turned out, the bare yarn turned out grey, and the splodges are everywhere, and much bigger than when I was putting them on with a cocktail stick. Obviously it's quite fine because I'd love to be able to do the beautiful speckled yarns that people like. I think it's Hedgerow yarns. They do beautiful speckled yarns. I've never had them, but I follow them on Instagram. So that's that one. Get better colour when it's not on the light, which is funny. Yeah, so that was my little endeavour into dyeing. So hopefully I'll be able to buy some bare wool and some acid dyes and give it a go. I think I want to dye them on a tray instead of in a dye pot. I think it'd be better for the speckling because I could lay it out more and then speckle on it. But if anyone has any information, obviously I've got the book, but if anyone has any information on how I can get the really nice speckling effect, like this yarn, this one's beautiful. I love all the speckling of the different colours. That's what I would really like to recreate. So if anyone knows any videos or any resources anywhere that can teach you how to do really good speckled yarn. I've watched the Hugh Loco podcast and she done a few tutorials on dyeing yarn. I've watched those ones, but obviously I haven't given acid dyes a go yet, so hopefully by next time when I podcast I would have had a little go with those. The only thing is I'm really impatient. I found myself like, do I really need to wait for the water to cool down? Really? I really just wanted to get on and do the next one. So I need to take my time with it, I think. What else? I also got this book for Christmas, and I thought of Danny from Little Bobbins when I watched her most recent podcast. I thought this would be a great book for her. But this is Knit for Your Kitties. And it's just got lots of, I'll show you the back, lots of little things that you can, little toys that you can stuff with catnip and things like that. I'm trying to find little little donuts. I don't want to show the pattern off, but little donuts and things like that. Even if it's not for the for the cats, they make good toys for kids as well. There's little ladybirds. Little ladybirds. So they're good little presents that you can put in for kids and things like that, in stockings or for little birthday presents. So that one is by Sarah Elizabeth Kellner. I got that one for Christmas. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about dream knitting, what I want to do. So I really would like to do the Stephen West Doodler shawl. I love the colours, but the actual pattern is the photos for the actual pattern, the pink with the mustard yellow and the sort of cream speckled yarn. And obviously I want to use this one, so this one is Somerset yarns, and it's really speckled with beautiful vibrant colours, but I don't have a vibrant pink or a mustard yellow yet. I'm not sure whether when I get my dyes, whether I want to dye it for myself or I might. I've seen that Sarah Texture Craft has brought out a line of tonal colours, so I might purchase from there. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, so this, I'll just tell you a little bit about this one. So it's called Speckled Rainbow. It's a 75% merino, 25% nylon, 100 grams, 425 metres. I got this a while ago with another skein, but I just love it, and I want a scarf. I take my dog for a walk in the evenings, and like I said, it gets quite windy here, so I like to put on a scarf or a cowl, and I want one that looks like, not crazy, but obviously knit, like no one else has one that looks like it. That's what and I didn't know whether I could pair it with this. It's all out. So this is this was some Homespun House. It was called Lunar Dance, but this was when she first started dyeing yarn. This is an alpaca fingering weight. I think it's alpaca BFL, possibly. It was called Lunar Dance, but I've never seen it in the shop since I bought it, and this was right when she first started dyeing. So yeah, I didn't know if I could pair it with that, and then I was gonna see if I could put this one in here as well. Turn it the right way up, and you might be able to. Sorry if it's all blown out. And make a shawl that way, because I've only ever knit one shawl. I knit the by Hugh Loco, Nicole Atwood. I may be completely wrong, but I've only knit one shawl before anyway, and it's a triangle one. And I'd really like a more crescent shaped shawl. Obviously I've seen the Find Your Fade shawl, but I do not have enough skeins, and especially not enough skeins that match with each other to do that one. Nora George, the notebook colour, and this came as a sock set, but I knit up the socks for my son. It was in this green colour, was the yeah, so I've kind of been hoarding these, but I really shouldn't just hoard them for no reason. I should knit them because I really like them, and I always say I could get hit by a bus tomorrow, and then what would they be then? Nothing. So that's notebook colourway, and this is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 100 grams stock weight, and you get 400 metres. So yeah, thinking about that. I want to get good progress on my Madewell cardigan before I decide to start another big project. I find it hard to get motivated to knit things for myself. I'm always knitting things for my kids on rotation, so I've just finished Max's jumper. That's why I'm starting some socks for my daughter, and then it goes on like that. Yeah, I find it hard to keep motivated to knit stuff for myself. Right, but now what I want to show you, this will it be? Let me just have a look at my notes. Oh, I just want to show you my little advent calendar that I got for Christmas. I ordered it for myself. It's a bit like a present. And this was by Stardust Homemade Crafts, and they're on Etsy. And I want to just show off some of the little colours that I have. These will all go, oh, these are the socks. I'll show you the one that with the ends moving in. That was made out of the little 20 grand skein that came with that. These were just little socks that I knit for my son. Really cute little socks. So that's currently actually a finished object. But what I would like to ask, if anyone knows of a better toe for decreasing for kids' socks, because that is very pointy on the corners, and obviously his feet aren't huge at the end, so they don't sort of push out the shaping of it, so it does look very square. So if anyone knows any better methods of decreasing for little socks, that would be great. And they're Fishlips Kiss Heel again there. A bonus finished object. Just looking through my basket that I keep all my my sort of knitting in, my knitting bags, to keep them all together. Okay, this isn't all of them, but this is most of them. These are all my little minis that I got. Some of them I've used, some of them I've knitted in already. Look at all those beautiful. They're only 10 grams, so they probably will only just do a square in my blanket. And they were all like individually labelled and had little colours, but they were, yeah, all beautiful. Very happy opening them on Christmas Day. That's nice. Pink and blue. On the days running up to Christmas, really nice opening those up, just having these. And I as I was opening them up, obviously I didn't have the time to knit them every day into my cozy memory blanket because I had so much Christmas knitting to do. So I just hung them on the tree, and they look very pretty on the tree. So I just want to move on to a bit more of crafty bits that I've been getting on with. My son has just turned 7 months, and he's just gone into his just gone into his new cot. He's still in our bedroom, but I just wanted to make his little corner of our bedroom his own. So I've just made a few little things, and I just wanted to show them on the podcast as well. So the first thing that I finished was this bunting, and Lily, my daughter, has one of these in her bedroom. My son's called Max. I made this little bunting. So it has a boat at one end and a little teddy bear with button eyes on the other end. This is just a very quick, easy bunting that I made. This was just some fabric that I had spare from making my son his first quilt. Now this is my first proper quilt that I've ever made. So this is the quilt that I made for my son. Oh, and I'm showing it upside down. It's a good one. Yeah. It's quite big. It's a cot-sized quilt. I found the inspiration for this, to make this, on Pinterest. So if anyone's interested, this is someone else's pattern that's free. So as I was saying, sorry, I got mummy duties called. Yeah, so if you wanted to make this, it's a free pattern that someone's has written a blog post about. I think if you search on Pinterest for triangle quilt or something like that, it would probably pop up. There's quite a few of them. Some of them are sort of easy, cheap ones. So you buy a fabric that has triangles on, and then basically you just quilt the lines where the lines of the fabric would be. But this is all pieced together. That's the backing. And this is all hand stitched on the binding. But I'm very proud of that one. And now I need to make a big one for my daughter. And I'm thinking about doing just squares for her one. Doing like a sort of patchwork square one. So, and this fabric was from a seller on Etsy. To make it a little bit more boyish, I added this bare one, and I got the backing and the binding off a seller on Amazon, but the main body of the fabrics were from an Etsy seller. So I'm very proud of that one. That one's hot off the needles. Last night I finished doing the binding, and I'm also doing a little memory pillow for him to go in his bed, and it's going to be a patchwork with all the Peter Rabbit with a couple of the colours from here in it around the border, and in the middle I want to do a little embroidery. So this is new, so completely new craft to me. I've never done any embroidery before, so this is my first attempt at it. So I made a Word document fitting in a box size that I wanted, and then I've copied it with a pencil onto some calico, and now I'm just embroidering. So yeah, so this will have always little details on it of time that he was born, his weight, and things like that. So that's what I've been doing recently when I get some time to do, and it's quite nice to learn a new craft. And I'm just doing it with some of the leftover thread that I have from doing his quilt. Did some leftover cotton thread, and I what do you call it? I more than double it. I use 8 strands of it. So obviously it's not proper embroidery floss, but it works for what I want to do, and then it's going to match in with all his sort of cot bed decor. So hopefully by next time when I do my next podcast, I'm hoping that I might do one a month. I'm not going to go any more than that because I've got 2 kids and everything just gets too hectic. So if I aim to do one a month, I'll have 12 by the end of the year, and that'll be an achievement. And I think that's all the things that I wanted to talk about today. I just wanted to mention that I have an Etsy shop called Oh Sew Lilly. Obviously that's named after my daughter, who's called Lily. And I do project bags and DPN cozies, and there's other things. There's a few crochet blankets in there because that's what I started doing when I first started doing that's what I started with. When it comes to yarn, I started with crochet and then it moved on to knitting about 2 years ago now. So I've been knitting for about 2 years. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna finish there. I hope you have a nice day, and please like my video or come talk to me on either Ravelry or Instagram. I will put in a screen, or on the screen I'll put my information for you to come have a chat with me if you've got any, or leave comments below. I'm going to do show notes, but I'm going to put them below in the information bar down there, because I'm not going to open a Ravelry group yet, as I've only just started. But thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Thank you. Bye.